Hello, and welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for even clicking on this video if you are. So you're probably noticing that I don't have the same introduction. It is because Adobe is having a licensing issue. So nothing Adobe is working right now, unfortunately. So I'm actually, I have cats. They're being little assholes. But yeah, so since you don't see my regular beginning, I'm really sorry. Adobe's having a licensing issue. But let's actually go ahead and get into it because these last two episodes of Ready to Love, and this is a review of episode 5 and 6, season 3. Let us get into it. Okay, so in episode 5, right now we're doing the elimination for the women. And the few things that I want to make sure that I bring up in this episode, obviously in the last episode we saw that Alicia and David had a date that David, with his wonderful sense of maturity, decided to just go ahead and zombie her, as he said, and go to Alex's room and do a little smoochy smooch and go to bed and forgot all about Alicia. And of course, Alicia and Shay were ear hustling. So now they've gone to the whole group and they've let them know what's going on, which I thought was odd. I was like, wow, we're making this a group event. Okay, whatever. So, I mean, hey, it was fine. Alicia went ahead and told everybody exactly what they were feeling with, of course, the help of ear hustling ass Shay, who seemed a little too excited about this. Way too excited about some shit that had nothing to do with them. Just period, you know? You guys, hey, stop it. I'm sorry. Anyway, so Alicia and David sit down after going to the whole group about this and getting everybody's little 2 cents of just like, that was really immature. Because let's be real, it was. But David basically, when he's speaking to Chris, says like, I just really wasn't feeling her like that, and basically just wasn't man enough to say so. And I love Chris. He was just like, I thought we were too old to be trafficking in F-boy behavior, and I was just like, touche, Chris, touche. And when Alicia and David sit down, they are, Alicia's basically reading him the rights and he's trying his best to clean it up as best he can. But Alicia's like, I can't pursue you anymore because you was a liar, basically. And to be honest, I don't think David cares because David wasn't feeling her in the first place. Otherwise, he would have showed up. Let's be honest. So now, like I said, remember, it's the women on the chopping block. Another situation that obviously we have to mention from the last episode was Simone and that very, very immature move to go ahead and pop the bubble, right? And with Jay and Joy, and along the lines of just basically being very immature and very insecure is really what it was. So Joy and Winter, after speaking about it amongst themselves, sit Simone down. And the one thing I really loved, I think everybody loved this moment, where Simone and Joy and Winter really had such an adult conversation that really usually would have gone so left. And I'll be honest, I'm putting myself in a situation, hey, and I'll be just preface it, I am a Pisces and I am very petty. If I was Joy or Winter, I would have peeped the situation like, I got you, bitch. Okay, see how it is. And I wouldn't have said shit, and I just would have acted accordingly. Like, okay, now I know who to protect myself from. But looking on how the situation went down, like, what a mature, open moment. And then I actually got to see that Simone's it was just feeling insecure and she was feeling hurt, but she was actually woman enough to be like, that was a fucked up dark moment for me, and I apologize. Nobody deserved that, because Winter started crying because she's like, I thought we were good, and I feel like that really affected Simone in such a way. But it was so cool. Like, after they had the discussion, Joy was like, let's get some whiskey, and then we were done with that, and it was really nice. Jay obviously is done. He want to keep his peace. So Jay's done. But I really like the fact that they had such an awesome adult conversation, which was not something that I really thought that I was going to see. Now, I think this is going to be the last couple I speak about in reference to episode 5. So I want to say the next one that I really want to talk about is the eliminations. Now, obviously, you watch the episodes. Shay and Alicia go home. Now, girl, I'm gonna give you a little tea because I've been online, And uh, Alicia, Alicia's a character. Let's not play these games. So when Alicia was being eliminated because she admitted that she friend zoned a lot of people that she wasn't supposed to friend zone, that she's not very open about her type. Chris was the one who actually let her go. And Chris, at one point, actually really liked her, but she said off the bat, "You're not my type." Later on, he clarified, she said, "You were too dark. You're not my type." And that made me, especially because I think Chris is beautiful, just being real, that made me really dislike her. I was like, oh my, Alicia. Oh my. Like you're wow. Like that there was too much to unpack there for me to articulate myself at the moment. But when Chris lets her go and she admits this, she friends a lot of people, that she friend zoned a lot of people, and upon letting her go, she's like, "Listen, I know I'm bad. I got body. I got a head full of hair." She says this in confessional, but I'm not gonna lie. This came off so cringy. It came off so cringy. Oh, it was cringy. It's cringy as hell. Um, and and then after, upon some research, which is why it kind of took a little bit too long for this review. Upon further research, this woman showed up to this TV show as a contestant, 5 months pregnant. Just a little while ago, we saw all the pictures of her baby shower. What? Girl. Now it's like, I wonder, now it goes back to, so is that why you was trying to find someone to take care of you and your kids? Because you had a third one on the way? I know it's fucked up, but it's just all in all, just like, throw her away. Throw her all the way away. I'm good. Now, I think everybody went ahead and realized that Shay wasn't about shit. Like, she didn't want to have any deep conversations, especially when it came to like the whole thing with Edwin. And Edwin was the one who actually sat her down and let her go, because all of the guys were saying, "Oh, she's giving me homie vibes." And let's be real, Shay is cringy. Shay's cringy as hell. That was like her whole interaction with Rashid and the twerkage and the thirstiness, and it was just like, like, girl, what are you going through? Like, for real, for real. So anyway, they go ahead and they let her go, and Edwin makes sure to mention that the fact that she checked out on that conversation, like, really, because when you're older, especially you're an older dude, you know that you guys are supposed to have like core connections, and these kind of things make core connections, those type of conversations. So as soon as he saw that she really wasn't about that, it totally X'd her out. Everybody else already thought that she was a homegirl, so Shay went home, and that was it. Oh, I lied. So the last thing I'm going to say about episode 5 was the date between Denise and Anthony. Denise was already on the chopping block. Kalfani was the one who spoke to her. That conversation went so well, and it just showed how classy Denise is. And to be honest with you, it also just kind of blows away this whole thing where it's like, oh, she's such an aggressive personality because she don't like one person. Y'all tripping. And it's so funny. There's so much hate on her online, like kind of painting her as this aggressive, terrible bitch. And I'm just like, you guys are so corny. Because it doesn't even make sense. She don't like one person. Do you see the way she is with everybody else? She's so sweet and charismatic. So anyway, she has this date with Anthony, which again shows like they had such a connection and they had so much fun. And in the confession, she was like, "You know what? Anthony really catches my funny." And I'm not going to lie. I like the connection between Anthony and Denise so much. I kind of want her to give up on Kalfani. Now, this is just how I feel. When Denise came back from that from elimination, and she came back, Adriana was like, Like, I'm like, damn, bitch, you really wanted her to go home. Because I really didn't have anything against Adriana before this episode. And I was just like, do you want Calfani? Because Denise likes Calfani. Because I'm wondering if these are ego plays for her. Just how disappointed she was when Denise showed up. Like that was just a little that didn't make me feel good about her. I don't like hate her or anything right now, but I'm just like, damn, really, girl? But Anthony and Denise go ahead and have this awesome date where they're playing croquet or something. And she was just, yo, it just looked so easy. And you know when you start talking to somebody and the shit is like just so simple, like everything just clicks and you're just like, damn. I like him. You could tell that's what was going on. And they ended up like skinny dipping because she lost the croquet match. And obviously still had the underwears on, its own. But body, yaddy, 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 yaddy. Jesus Christ, Denise. Listen, I was like, damn, I really gotta get back in the gym. Like she made me feel bad. But that's all with episode 5, I believe. And now let's go ahead and go into episode 6 because a lot happened. A lot. So Naya and Edwin went on a date and they had like a really nice connection. And I really did like that for them, although it made me a little worried for Chris. So in this episode, everybody is taking all of their friends, because we always do this in Ready to Love. Now we got to meet your friends, you know what I'm saying? And Naya. I'm not going to spend too much time on this. But Naya goes ahead and she invites Chris to come and spend some time with her friends. And now we're going to have some conversation about finances. So we're going to get really, really real. This sparked so much conversation online. It was fucking ridiculous. And I will definitely going to go ahead and give my opinion. So during the conversation between Naya, her friend, and Chris, they start talking about the finances. Now, Chris says, how the finances should go in his mind after being put on the spot was like, maybe we split the mortgage and like, I'll take the utilities, maybe she'll do the car insurance. And Naya's like, split. And I understand completely why. People are calling her a gold digger and so on and so forth. I'm like, isn't a gold digger somebody who ain't got their own, trying to siphon off of somebody else's? Like, that doesn't make sense to me. She has been very open about having 4 miscarriages. I've had 3. I know exactly where she is coming from, 100%. And I don't feel like any woman wants to work while they are pregnant because they want to just concentrate on housing the child. And as a person who has had miscarriages like Naya, this worries her completely. Like, yo, everything I thought about Chris has now changed. And that's how she feels. And upon this, once the words have left his mouth, nothing can be fixed. And this is why I didn't mind what Naya's decision was. I just didn't like the way she went about it because I feel like Chris is such a good guy and just didn't deserve that type of heat, but not even the heat that she actually gave directly to him. I'm talking when she was sitting down with Tommy, finally got his name, and the rest of the girls. They're like, oh, I thought you really, was feeling Chris. She was like, listen, I was just entertaining his attention. And I was like, now you know you're wrong. Now you know you're wrong. Because I feel like the reason why that Naya did not make the right choice is only because Chris really tried to fix it. Chris is the type of man that I would definitely be with because Chris really tried to fix this shit. He was like, let me go ahead and talk to the other women and tell me what I should do. Goes back to Naya, tries to fix it. And that's the kind of man you work with because as long as you make it known what is important to you, Chris is willing to adapt. And I appreciate that. But I understand why Naya was done because if that is the man's original mindset going in, it's not something that you're going to 100% fully trust. And I get it and I understand it, right? I just didn't like the way she went about that. I just didn't like the way the way she went about it. Just like the manner was just very off-putting. That's all. Honestly, I don't find anything wrong with her decision. I feel like being a housewife and being a mother does not make you a gold digger. I feel like that's super strange. like being a mother and being a housewife just means absolutely nothing. I would never be a housewife. That's not in my ministry. But I don't think there's anything wrong with women deciding that's something that they want. White women and Hispanic women do it all the time. They grow up that way, that you find a man to take care of you and you're going to bear children and be a wife. And we don't call them gold diggers. But when successful black women want another successful black man, that's when it's like, well, you're just a bitch. I don't agree with that. But I did not like the way she went about it. That's all. So the next thing in the episode that I thought was very interesting. So Edwin, Joy, and so wait, hold on. Edwin, Joy, and Jay and Winter. They all have a sit down, and they have a sit down with Joy and Winter's prospective friends, right? And while they're having this conversation, one of the girls is just like, "Hey, so who's in your top? I just want to know." And the way they both said, hey, Jay was like, hey, Joy's in my top, and Edwin was like, Winter is in my top. And obviously this makes Winter feel away because they both are feeling both of these guys. It's a little confusing. But now she knew, and I could just see the way that Jay answered really bothered her because he was trying not to be completely upfront. He really was trying not to really go there, which I get and understand, but we're being real and we're being adults, and it just didn't. I can understand why that didn't feel good to her soul. And the another thing that we're gonna make sure to talk about is Denise, who brings her friend, and then she brings Calfani, and she brings Anthony, both the guys who she's feeling the most. And I'll be honest, I really loved the interaction between her and Anthony. Like, I really like him for her. Like, I really do. Like, I think Calfani is just kind of, he a little too for the streets right now. I mean, I'm just saying. So I feel like Anthony will be willing to take the time to like really concentrate on her, and that's all I'm really gonna say about that. Now, Adriana and her girlfriend, who was beautiful, well, they're both gorgeous. Let's be real. She brings Rashid, and one thing that I noticed, because she talked about Rashid and she talked about Kalfani, and the friend pointed it out. Anytime you talk about Kalfani, you just talk about how big and chocolate and fine he is. And when it comes to Rashid, you have other things to say, but it seems like you're more into Kalfani, like just physically. And I'm gonna be real. I really think that she just wants Kalfani a little bit because Denise wants him. That's just the feeling I'm getting. I don't. It's a hard one. It's a tough one. But Rashid, she was even saying Rashid's giving all the right answers, and for some reason that wasn't satisfactory to her, which I thought was odd. But I'm like, all right, you know what? She confused, she young, she trying to figure it out, and I can respect that. Now, getting back to the whole Naya and Chris thing, Naya has a date with Edwin, and she asked the same question about finances, and of course, Edwin answers this beautifully for a woman trying to give birth, and it would have made me more comfortable too. And then she starts rubbing on his head, and they have a nasty kiss, and I was just like, making me feel a type of way. Okay, Naya. And it was so sad, man. They sent Chris home and they had Joy do it. I'm not going to lie. Why hasn't Joy and Chris gotten together? Because they look like such a beautiful match. They're beautiful people. They seem to understand each other. I don't know. I don't know. In my back of my head, I'm just like, girl, I would have been the first thing to be like, yo, so what you trying to do? Or maybe they did try and it didn't work out, and that's not something that we know. But Chris ended up going home, and I thought it was sad. I did. I didn't want Chris to go home. I wish that Chris had another, just a little bit more time to make another connection. But he spent all of his time on Naya, and that wasn't the right decision at the end of the day. And it's fucked up because, like I said, I really feel like Chris would have been able to adapt to what Naya wanted because he was laser focused. But I will say this for Chris: the way he conducted himself during all of these episodes, superb. Like a real man's man, a gentleman, somebody who was intelligent, and wasn't just mentally intelligent, but emotionally intelligent. That is not that is something that you want in the relationship bankroll. That's what you want. So I'll be honest, I'm not worried about Chris. That he's going to find a woman based off of this show. There's a successful lady watching this being like, yo, so what is this man's Instagram at? I'm going to shoot my shot. I promise you. I'm sure his DMs are full. You hear me? Full. But that's really the synopsis of episodes 5 and 6. I really hope you enjoyed it. I'm sorry about the background noise. I'm sorry about the lack of editing professional, But we will get back into it. I should be able to get everything fixed this week. So when I do episode 7, we will be back on track. But please do me a favor and like, comment, and subscribe. Please, please, please. And just share. I would enjoy it. Thank you. Thank you. You guys have a great one. I'll see you next time.